Well, hello, my beautiful Sagittarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for mid-August right through to mid-September 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay, let's move straight on with your reading. Now, of course, I am using the Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, something that may benefit you as I use the Gaia chimes, maybe it would benefit you to really visualize the sort of success you desire in your career, the money you are aspiring to achieve, because the Gaia chimes helps recalibrate vibrations and attach you to an energy of manifestation. So maybe something to think about as I do the Gaia chimes. You can utilize your time in this way. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Sagittarians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But the Gaia chimes really gave me a sense that you are super busy right now, that you have many things on your mind. But let's go to the cards and see what's going on there for you. Thank you so much, Big Guys, Green Angels. We have the moon energy. This is your protagonist energy right now. So this can indicate that you are keeping your dreams alive. Some of you may be a little bit nervous or worried about your sector, whatever industry you work in right now, but the moon energy can indicate that you're drained, okay, that you're exhausted, that you are giving so much of yourself that you do need time to take a pause or rest. If you have just had a vacation, for example, it could be that now you're getting back in the fray, but I feel a lot of you are trying to manage some challenging things in your industry right now. And of course we have like the snake and the snowflake here as well. So this can be that you are someone who's very unique in your industry. You're someone who perhaps has been dealing with a delicate situation in your working environment. But also I feel there is an energy of you kind of like being very talented and gifted at what you do. And there's a little bit of jealousy around you is what I'm seeing. Now, I don't really like to go into drama when it comes to readings there, but I feel like you are focused on your finances and I feel like you're changing the way that you work in order to attract more money or more opportunities. And I feel like you're calculating the best path to take. I feel it's really important, of course, that you do what you love. I do see a new project coming on in here for you. It may be something that's offered to you as opposed to other people, or maybe there is a new endeavor that you're about to embark on that's going to be very lucrative. But I do see that you may be trying to keep this secret. Maybe you're working on something in silence at this time because I feel like you're aware that, let's put it this way. I don't see any energy around you where people do not want you to succeed. But when you do succeed, it's almost like it reminds the person or people how they are not succeeding in the same way. And it can give a little bit of a negative spin on things. So I feel a lot of you could be working on projects in secret at this moment in time, submerging yourself diligently behind the scenes on something. But I do see something that you're really going to love and celebrate coming on in here for you. You worked hard for it. We got the Three of Pentacles there. This can indicate that some of you are contemplating a collaboration of some sorts, or perhaps you're working with people behind the scenes on something. But ultimately, if you're doing it alone, because I have a lot of you, there is this energy of like standing out from the crowd in your industry, doing something that perhaps is delicate but long lasting and really magical. And I feel that you're building for the future. I feel like you are building your finances, squirreling money away, calculating the next steps. And of course, I feel a lot of you have a very unique idea that really sets you apart from other people. And of course, this will have a lot of prying eyes when you release it, if you're someone who works for yourself, for example, or if you're offered something in a company. And I feel this is about either copywriting, patenting, trademarking something as well, very important. But let's get to the moon energy, because this is your protagonist energy and you are feeling a bit exhausted. The moon energy is a draining energy. It can also indicate that, you know, there's a lot of changes going on in your industry and you're wondering how it's going to affect you long term. Now, for some of you, if you've just come to this reading and you've been made redundant, for example, or you lost your job, or a contract came to its end, or you're seeking new employment in some shape or form, I do see something being offered to you. Ace of Cups is there, okay? So this can indicate an opportunity that you do not have right now is going to come on in. It's something that you love doing. I mean, Ace of Cups can represent love, okay? But more than anything, I feel like the universe is divinely intervening in your situation, because we have a Page of Cups there as well. It's like your dream job comes in, or you hear news about an opportunity that you're absolutely going to love, that you're going to grab with both hands. The Judgment energy, because we've got a Three of Pentacles, there is kind of like two energies around you. So it could be that you're offered, two roles. One is very unique, one is very standalone, and the other one is a little bit more involved in a team, is what I'm seeing. And of course, with that Judgment energy, you will reach for the one that, of course, pays you money, but also that you feel in your heart is right for you. So I would say that you're different. You stand out from the crowd. If you're interviewing at this moment in time, have confidence in yourself. The fact that you're actually in the room interviewing in the first place, it means they love your resume. They love what you're about. Okay, when you interview, it basically means they want to assess your character, see if you get on with people, gel, how you deal with things under pressure. You may actually have an interview where there is a panel of 3 people, or maybe there's 3 interviews for some of you, and there's going to be one person who looks like they're disinterested, right? Don't let that put you off. This person is testing you, okay? This person, I also feel like they have a lot on their plate. So when they are kind of like checking in with emails or, on their cell phone, for some of you, you may encounter a person like this. I would say don't take it personally. This person, they're listening. Okay, and the way that this person operates, this is so random that it's coming in. So if any of you are going for an interview or an appraisal or a meeting that is important, connected to your career, there is one person who, the way they assess people, it's like they look down, they don't look at them physically, they listen to the words, because this person feels like they can, assess a person through the way that they speak. How they conduct themselves, because it's like they can sense a person through the words. Are those words authentic? And of course, you are authentic, my beautiful Sagittarians, but I do feel there's one person who acts like they are either disinterested, which, of course, if they're being rude, I feel like professionally, you will, I would say the energy is, it's not that you call them out, it's like you engage them in conversation. I feel like you're very clever, you win the room. So you include them. And that brings their attention. They're like, oh, okay, I need to write what's happening here, because this is a really interesting conversation. So I feel like you win the room by getting them on side, okay? So just be mindful of that. Be your wonderful, unique self. Shine your light there. I do feel that you're dealing with a person who's very complex, but I feel the way or nature of the industry that you are trying to get a role in, I mean, the job's yours. That's the energy that I'm feeling. But there's one person who, not much impresses them, but you do. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So I do see you kind of like judging a contract or something by the end of, I would say it's the end of August. You may step into this role in September is what I'm seeing there. So if you're looking for a role, I do see that there is one coming on in for you. So I'll leave that there with a lot of love and respect. The moon energy, of course, is an energy of mood swings. So this can indicate personally that you're dealing with some challenging emotions personally, and it can be that you're trying to keep focus on your working environment. But most importantly, because I see here with an energy, it could be that you're dealing with a person who is having a lot of mood swings in the working environment. Even if you work for yourself, it could be that, you have like a complex conversation with a client or someone you do business with. But I'm just picking up on, you kind of dealing with a person who is really like stressed out personally, and they're bringing their mood into the working environment. If you have a boss, for example, this could be a boss who is micromanaging you or in some way just a little bit off. Or if you work for yourself, it could be like someone you do business with, whether it's an accountant, a financial advisor, or it's, someone who perhaps normally is not like this. It feels out of character. Okay. So just want you to be aware of that, because I feel like you'll deal with someone like that. I feel a lot of you, because the snake is in the resistance position, it can indicate two things. One is some of you are removing yourself from a very toxic environment, or you're erecting healthier boundaries when it comes to the working environment, not just in terms of your working practices with people around you, because of course we have Three of Pentacles, which is team energy. I feel for some of you, there may be someone who leaves, who actually creates a very challenging environment. So you may hear about this. They won't leave immediately. I feel like they'll give in their notice and work their term. But a lot of you may be deciding to actually remove yourself from any toxic environments. And if you work for yourself, I feel like, this obsessive energy of working consistently, which that's wonderful. I feel like you're making great headway. But at the same time, I feel with the moon energy is do not ignore your body's needs. This is your body asking for attention, saying you're exhausted. So take the time that is necessary. The world can be won another day. Okay. So that's coming through there very strongly. Now, we have that moon energy. It says intuition, dreams, emotions, fears, fantasy, creativity, mood swings, and the unseen. Because you have the King of Pentacles here, a lot of you, this is like business as usual. You're focused on your dreams. Intuitively, you're moving towards your goals. You're putting a lot of effort and work in. You're bringing your A game with the King of Pentacles. This means that you're business-minded. A lot of you are going to focus on administrative tasks, maybe return to things you haven't gotten around to doing. And, you're going to make great headway. I feel like you're very productive. That's what this can indicate. So you may actually do more than you usually do in the next coming weeks, and you will feel exhausted, but also proud of yourself that you got a lot done. Also with the moon energy, this is creativity. So this is about you creating new ideas, money-making ideas. I see a lot of you in calculation mode right now. King of Pentacles, whether you're in a career or not right now, I would say that you're focused and you're responsible financially. So you're creating a financial strategy. You're focused on your money, saving plans, trying to make your resources go a long way. And, the Three of Pentacles can be that if you're purchasing things that you're trying to find a discount or a better deal, or you're portioning off a little bit of money in order to save it, or put it into 401ks, or even repayment plans. Because I feel here for some of you, there's this energy of purchasing something that you love, because we have that Ace of Cups there. And the Three of Pentacles can be that it's a higher purchase where you'll pay per month, or you pay part of this, and you're just making down payments on that. And I feel with the Judgment card and the Page of Cups, for some of you, there is this energy of purchasing something. If you haven't done it already, it could be that you decide to take it back and get your money back on something, which I feel like you'll get. There's just this energy coming through there. But ultimately, let's bring it back to your career. King of Pentacles indicates you're in the flow of productivity, okay? You are owning your time, you're organized, you're structured, you're serious, because the King of Pentacles is very serious about trade or industry or, business as usual. But also, this is a very enterprising card. So this can indicate you have the ability to attract more wealth. I do see for some of you with that Three of Pentacles, you're building towards a bonus if you work in a company. Okay, I feel there is either some news, because pages bring news. So I would say something is being offered to you that you may weigh up your options on it. It's a very unique kind of deal. And because the snowflake is there, I would say it's a very complex kind of opportunity. And because if you think about the nature of a snowflake, okay, very individual, very unique, but at the same time, a snowflake, as soon as it lands, it kind of starts to disperse, okay? So it could be that there is a time-sensitive opportunity, or maybe a time-sensitive project that you're working on. I mean, with the Judgment card energy, this can indicate that you're weighing up your options on this. You're not going to wait too long, because I feel like you get the best deal on whatever this is. But ultimately, I feel like you're offered something, some sort of good news that you celebrate, because this card can be a toast. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Page of Cups, you know, they have a cup in their hand, which is basically a body of water. It is a vessel of water where the vision becomes reality. So that figure is looking in a cup of water, just like I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading, and suddenly a fish pops out of that cup. Fish represents abundance, okay? It means that the dream becomes your reality. So you're going to hear some news on something that is really positive or makes you super excited about it, and you got money on your mind, because this is your protagonist energy. You're like, show me the money. So it could be that you're negotiating a better deal on something or a better contract there. But King of Pentacles is you trying to, you know, be responsible for your career and for your money. And a lot of you are self-made, you know, running your own business. And if that's not something that you're doing right now, I feel like that's something you're aspiring to do. And I feel this is something that you may launch or have an idea that sets you apart from other people, and it will attract more wealth there for you. A lot of you are also thinking about wealth structures over the next coming weeks and months, you know, legal structures, legal entities. You may even get advice on the best way to invest your finances, or you may even have a meeting with like a pensions advisor, 401k, for example, because this can be an advisor card. But this is about you enjoying the good life, and this is what you're aspiring to do. And of course, the moon energy can indicate that you're worried about some of the rules, regulations, or policies that are going on in the industry. You may feel like there's not as much opportunity that there used to be, or you may feel a little bit of fear around the economy with this. But looking at the energy with the Judgment and the Page of Cups, I feel a lot of you, you know, there is this energy of you standing out from the crowd, you being very original in your ideas or whatever it is that you do in your working environment. And I feel like a lot of you, it's not that nothing is happening, because I feel, you know, it is business as usual. And I do feel that there is some really good news coming on in here for you that will make you kind of like sing with joy, or, you know, do a little like jump in the air. But what I'm seeing more than anything is that you're maintaining and sustaining during this month, and I feel like you're just showing up and bringing your A game. You're working super hard, and you're tapping into your vision of what you aspire to achieve for your future, and I just feel like you're on course and being very productive there. Now we have the Temperance energy. So of course, this is you, the Sagittarian energy. This can be that you're very patient, very diligent, that you are kind of like trying to rekindle your spark for something. Because of course, King of Pentacles can be a repetitive cycle that sees you being a pro at what you do. There's certain tasks and responsibilities that you have on your shoulders that you are going to complete over this time, but it can be sometimes a little bit dull and boring. You know, we all try to aspire to do something that we love, or something that kind of affords us the lifestyle of security that we aspire to. So everybody's idea of success is different, but with the Temperance card, I feel like you're being very diligent. You know, you are someone who is elevating but evaluating right now, and I feel like you're trying to be in the flow. I feel like you're trying to turn one thing into another. So it could be that you're trying to turn a product or a service into finances, for example. And I feel like for some of you, there is this energy of you dipping your toe into something new. So either you do something creative behind the scenes, something very corporate for some of you, not all of you, of course, but it can be that you do something that gives long-term money coming on in. It's like you know where your paycheck is coming from, as it were, but I feel something is bubbling up within you where you're like, okay, if I have this idea and I start this or launch it, I feel for some of you, you're working on something behind the scenes you're about to launch, because the Ace of Cups can be an offering, you know, something that you love doing that brings in more opportunity for you, and you care so much about what it is you're doing. But there's also this energy, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, there's this alignment energy with you where it's like autopilot. So it can be that, you know, you're either trying to create something that brings in passive income or connect to something that brings in passive income, whether it's an idea that you set up and it goes online, for example, and then it just sells, and then you're like, okay, I did all the hard work with that and now it's just out there and it's making money. Or whether it's real estate and you purchase, and of course then there's investment and all of those things. I don't know anything about that, but it could be that you are learning about that, or it's something that you're aspiring to do. Because I get this sense of like, if I create this now, can I just like, you know, make it automated in some way, or make it just, you know, do its thing by itself. So some of you could be having ideas like that. And I would say that if you're working on something and about to launch it, it is so unique. It is, you know, something that people want to get involved in some way, even if it's a new approach in your working environment. I just feel like you're setting yourself apart because you do have the snowflake. What I am excited about is the snake is kind of, it's in the resistance position at first, okay? So there is an energy here of like no change. You know, what you're doing right now, you feel like you're just showing up and doing right now. And it's about keeping balanced and just ticking over nicely and being on top of things. And for some of you, there may be a change in your schedule. That's what I am picking up on. But, you know, it says here, enemy, deceit, cheating, jealousy, envy, loss, treachery, setback, temptation. Some of you, if you have experienced a setback, I feel this is something that actually aligns you with something better. It feels like timing was off, or timing had to show up at the right time. Okay, so if you've been rejected on something, it normally means that you are protected and redirected towards something greater. Okay, because we do have this Ace of Cups, which is great. It just means that there is something being offered to you, okay? But because it's in the resistance position at first, it may feel like you were let down, or there was a setback, or something didn't go the way you'd hoped for, or there was a disappointment in some way. But it goes into the upright, which means now something else comes in, something that feels like it's somehow connected. It just feels like it's better. Because the Judgment is like it's connected to your true calling. And the Page indicates, you know, something is actually offered. The universe has manifested something for you, but you've been putting in the hard work. It's not like it's just showing out of the blue. It just feels like you've worked really hard on something, and now the opportunities or the portals, the doorways are opening up to more possibilities there for you. There's a potential for a new client or a new contract or a new department, or like something new is going on here for you. It could be a new idea. I feel a lot of you, it is a new idea, something that you're launching, maybe something you're working on behind the scenes already, that you're like, it's like privacy, okay? I'm just getting this energy of like moon eclipse privacy. It just feels like you will reveal when the moment is right. So if that's you, I feel it's going to do really well. It is something that stands out from the crowd, and it is your calling, whatever this is, okay? You know, also, if you're in a company, if you work for yourself, there is an energy here of someone. You know, I feel there's this energy of triangle. It's really random, okay? I mean, it could also be if you work in an industry and you're like an independent worker, but you network, for example. I feel there's this like energy going on within the working environment where there's a little bit of drama. Now, I don't really want to get involved in the drama, but I do see it, so I have to mention it, and it's popped up again. So, for example, you know, if you work for a company, there could be someone here who has an attraction to you, someone who is very interested in you romantically, okay, and they've got someone who's interested in them, and they can see that actually the person that they kind of likes you, if that makes sense. So, for example, let's say, I just want to make it clear, let's say this is the boss, right? If you work for a company, and this is you, okay? And this is someone else, okay? This person likes the boss likes you. This person is jealous or is like a little bit frustrated that there's a triangle or unrequited love here. Some of you are going to deal with that, okay? So I feel with the Judgment energy and the Page of Cups, I mean, if you're single and you are interested in the person, I'm not saying it is your boss, but if you're interested in the person who's interested in you, you know, of course, then you're going to make your decision. The Judgment card indicates you're a little bit unsure. You're not sure if you want to blur the lines because we have that Temperance energy there as well. So obviously you'll make your decision. Page of Cups, this person may come and declare their feelings for you, but There is someone here who it feels like their nose is put out of joint because they have feelings for this person. This person is going to change their approach to you. And, you know, if they are in a position of authority, just watch out, okay? This person could try to make your life a little bit difficult. Now, again, I don't want to get involved in that drama, but I have to acknowledge it's there. The same could be if you are at a networking event. Okay, there is an energy here of you meeting a person who is attracted to you. And then it feels like with that Three of Pentacles, there is this kind of like triangle. Okay, so do with that what you will. You'll be discerning about the company that you keep and the decisions you make, of course. But let's bring it back to your energy and your career, okay? A lot of you, this would be a great time to network. But I have this Three of Pentacles, and this can indicate people are talking about you and what you do already behind the scenes, okay? Someone is talking about you. And of course, I feel with the Ace of Cups, a lot of you, this is like a VIP or someone in a position of authority who wants to either collaborate with you or wants to offer you. They have influence is what I see. You know, Three of Pentacles, the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, Three of Pentacles, has three people on there. One is elevated, okay? And you've got the King of Pentacles here, which means you're elevated. Someone who is really great at your craft, someone who's talented, someone who's serious, who's already at a certain level established in your industry, whatever it is that you do, and you've got great ideas. I feel like there is a conversation behind the scenes about how they want to elevate you even further, okay? So there could be a new role or a new opportunity offered to you. It's really interesting because a lot of you, I feel this is like a starter's position because we've got the King of Pentacles, and this is where you're at right now, and the Page is, you know, like a different title. You know, a page is kind of like curious about something new. So it can be that you are asked to figurehead like a new department, something new. For some of you, it could be like you're connecting to like a pop-up store if you work for yourself and you sell your art, for example, or your craft. For some of you, it could be a new client. And it just feels like you are entering new territory in some way. Or it could be that you are actually curious about migrating your skills, changing the way that you work, evolving where you feel like you've reached a certain plateau, you've done all you can with the role that you're in, and now you're just curious for new opportunities. And I feel that there is a very unique kind of circumstance coming on in here for you that you will be very excited about. I mean, Three of Pentacles, it means that you are taking ownership of your career, your finances, and you're building a solid foundation financially. You're the architect of your dreams. So even if you've been on a vacation, I feel like you're like coming back super serious and, you know, hitting the ground running. You are tempering your pace and saying, right, okay, let's get organized, let's get serious. And I feel like you are locking on to something that is very exciting indeed. Three of Coins, you know, it basically means you're careful with your finances. Of course, you're weighing up your options. I feel like you're portioning off money like a secret stash as well, because the Moon card can be like, that's locked off, that's private. You don't need to have access to that. So I feel like you could be trying to make sure that you even make different streams of income, because I feel there is this energy of duality. But the snake is there. The snake sheds old skin. So it could be that a lot of you, that you're not like wanting to move to a different apartment or a different role. It can be that you finished a project. It was hard, you know, but you diligently got there. You're focused and action oriented. But now you're on to new things, okay? So it can be that variety is a spice of life, and that's why you've got the snowflake energy here, okay? But I would just be mindful if anyone is trying to micromanage you, or I feel like you're very diplomatic and very clever in the way that you deal with anybody who tries to, you know, break your stride, as it were. And rather than calling them out, I feel like you somehow involve them, because it's like, even if this is like a competitor, it just feels like, okay, you know what? We could work together, or we could, you know, discuss the pitfalls and the successes of the industry. We could actually be alliances rather than be competition. You know, you're both unique, you're both doing very similar things in an industry, but you still stand out. So it can be that you don't want to have that conflict because it is in your resistance position there, okay? But we do have different, unique, fragile, clarity, impermanence, individuality, complexity. Some of you may be contemplating, freelance work or seasonal work at this time just to line your pockets and get in some extra finances. A lot of you may be contemplating working from home or being your own boss, or, structuring that. You may feel it's a very delicate situation, or you may feel that it's a very complex structure if you think about the nature of a snowflake. And legally, there's a lot of information out there, but you may be like, oh my gosh, if you're setting up like a legal entity, it can be hard. Or if you're trying to, set up a generational wealth structure, of course, that information is not available, all of it, to everybody. So it's something you have to go seeking or searching for. It seems to be private. So you could enlist the help of, some sort of practitioner, someone who's qualified financially to give you good advice there to help you set up a complex structure. Because I feel there's a complex kind of problem solving energy, and it works out in the right way. So if you're calculating something, or you are trying to deal with a complex situation or even a complex person this coming like 6 weeks, because this reading is for 6 weeks, I feel like you work it out, you solve it, or you win the room. I just feel like, you're being your wonderful self. And I feel even in an industry where there is challenge, I feel there is a surprise, because it's Uranus energy, which normally means plot twist. And we have a lot of Uranus sort of muscling in the next coming weeks there. But your outcome cards, we got the Judgment, which means you're connected to your sense of calling. You're weighing up your options, but this can also be that you're examining something, or suddenly you have like an awakening in your industry, like a wake-up call, like, okay, I need to be serious. I need to get back to the grindstone. Or it can be, that you restart something. Because I feel a lot of you may return to something that was an idea that perhaps you haven't had time to get back involved with, but I feel like you are going to do that in the next coming weeks and months. I also feel this energy of learning about something where you kind of have like a breakthrough. Some of you could actually put yourself on a course of learning, but more than anything, I feel this Judgment energy is about you understanding what you need to do and being called forward to do it, to follow direction that your heart is yearning for, especially when it comes to your finances as well. So you may even find like a new app or a new financial institution that helps you with better interest rates. Or, I just feel like you are looking at what is the best for your unique situation, or how you want to utilize your finances. So if you're trying to make a large purchase, it could be that you're looking at different dynamics and different companies and different, bank accounts and things in order to house your finances. But ultimately, I feel a lot of you may be changing the way that you work, or doing something really unique that is an idea that can bring in more wealth. And it will start slow, I got to be honest with you, but then suddenly it'll have a bit of a glow up there. And for some of you, if you're a little bit worried how it will be received when you release it, I would say, you're going to be met with people who love it. With the Page of Cups energy, it means you have something that people love. But also, this is a card of news, of course, and it's a catalyst for change energy. So I feel like you're offered something that you will absolutely love in your industry. But also, this is an energy of kind of like being very artistic, very sensitive, spotting trends, moving with the times, being flexible. I would say for some of you, there is like this vibe of someone wanting to collaborate with you. Okay, so if you are an independent worker, there could be someone who wants to collaborate or get involved in the industry. You may actually give this person advice as well, because you're very established. But I also feel, because this is not a Pentacles card, of course it is a Cups card, this is about you keeping your vision alive and having some sort of nice surprise that comes in connected to it. It's something that you want that kind of makes like the humdrum of what you do day to day. Even though you love what you do, there's a system. And I feel like you are locked into the system and making it happen. So if you are your own boss, you're an entrepreneur, whether you are an independent worker, a creative, or whether you work in an office or even in a warehouse, or in a cafe or anywhere, wherever you work, there is a structure of what you do day to day. And the King of Pentacles tells me that you are doing the structure. But a lot of you with that kind of like duality energy there, the Temperance card is like doing two things. Making one thing blend into another. So either you have something creative on the side that you are financially going to benefit from, or whether you are having a new idea where you're setting up a structure where there is like a second stream of income, I feel it's going to really stand out just like you. You are unique, and that is literally your superpower. If you've had a really wild and wacky idea, go for it. I would say that, you're learning about it as you go and you're making it happen. And you got money on your mind, but with that Three of Pentacles, for some of you, it could even be like 3 streams of income later on that you're aspiring to achieve. But I would say that, you're being careful with your finances. And I would also say that, there's early success in business coming in here for you. And especially if you are working with others or collaborating, and that can be in the form of like partnerships with social media platforms. It doesn't have to be connected to people per se. It can be an alliance with a social media platform or a brand deal, for example, if you're an influencer. But ultimately, I feel there's this energy of you aspiring for a high-ranking position, okay, or being in a high-ranking position in your industry, or just being well-established and very knowledgeable, but also curious about where you could take things to next and exploring your options. I would say the next coming weeks, very explorative, okay? We've got protection, okay? So I do feel like you're doing that, saving your finances, putting like a secret stash, protecting your finances. We got work together. So some of you working together, as I mentioned, doesn't always have to be with a person, but it could be that you're thinking about joining a team, or you may be thinking about creating an alliance with like an accountant, for example, to do your accounts, tax time. Some of you, I feel there is an energy of a rebate, tax rebate coming in as well. We've got that Judgment card, which can mean something from your past comes in to, inform you or reward you, as it were. So we have, I also want you to be aware, like, you're just going to be on top of like phone calls, emails, spreadsheets, things like that, administrative tasks. King of Pentacles is all about the administrative stuff, maintaining, sustaining, but also, being conscious of manifesting more or attracting more abundance. King of Pentacles means you can find opportunity anywhere because you're someone who works really hard to make it happen. You're not just sitting there hoping it'll happen. You are a person of action. So we've got protection there. Umbrellas are all about a protection. So I feel like if you're worried about anything, I feel like you're protected and directed, but also you're serious about, your financial strategy. And if you have had a disappointment, I feel it's because the universe is aligning you with something better, okay? It says here, shield yourself from loss and save for rainy days. Expenses are covered. I mean, if you're a freelancer on a job or, you are doing a project, I would say your sort of expenses will be covered there as well. We've got working together. A successful partnership or collaboration is highlighted. Pooling resources. So some of you could be working with like friends or family or soul tribe. Always get a contract in place, so that everybody knows what kind of page they're on there. But, I would say if you are contemplating a business with others there, I feel, it's going to be very lucrative. It'll literally change the way that you work, but also it will bring in extra finances, another stream of income there for you. We also have positive focus and ascending. So positive focus, it says what you see is what you get. So see yourself succeed. Stay optimistic. Remember the vision. It starts with the vision, and you've got that Page of Cups. So although you're going to get some news that you'll toast and celebrate and be excited about, this is about you keeping the dream, the vision alive, and having some nice surprise wins along the way. Also, there's glasses there, so I feel like you're super focused, locked onto the details of your career refinement over the next coming weeks regarding your schedule. But also we've got ascending, keep rising in the ranks. You are meant to be in charge, power and prosperity. So I do feel that, you are meant to be in a high-ranking position, or you already are at that level, but I feel like you're aspiring for something new that I feel will come on in for you. You're very charismatic. You care about your industry. You are someone who is young at heart. And yes, it's hard work. King of Pentacles is someone who works super hard. And I can see that you invest everything that you have to give. But I feel this is about keeping things fresh during the next coming weeks. And I feel like you are elevating but in a different way, if that makes sense. I'm not really sure exactly how that makes sense, but it could be that, you know, you're stepping into a new opportunity that sees you rise through the ranks a lot quicker, or offers you just better rewards, as it were. So I feel also ideas taking off. Now something just popped out there. Where is that? Oh, okay. It's a rune, okay? And it is the... Oh, I love this. This strength rune, okay? So, I mean, this is a promotion rune. So, a lot of you, there could be a promotion in the works there. I feel people are talking about you behind the scenes regarding that. But also, if you work for yourself, this could be like industry VIPs or people who are like legends in your industry, noticing that you're coming up, noticing what you do, and could actually reach out and say, look, I love what you're about. I love it, you know, and they may open some doors of opportunity for you, or even, you know, introduce you to somebody, because we have that Three of Pentacles energy. So there could be a networking opportunity there as well. I mean, this rune is all about having the stamina, but also distant influences. I mean, I didn't see any sort of like connections worldwide. Doesn't mean that it's not there. I feel like you're just changing the way that you do business, and it is far reaching. There is an expansion here for you. We've also got a handcuff. Okay, now this handcuff is open and the word freedom is on it. So I feel like this is about being independent, being free, not being micromanaged, finding your way to release yourself from something. I mean, personally, some of you may be releasing yourself from contracts or service providers that are just not working. You may be looking at ongoing renewal of contracts or even subscriptions. You may actually cut some things out. Some of the subscriptions or services that you're utilizing at the moment, they may change their terms and conditions, and you may be weighing up your options as to whether you like what they're changing or whether you're getting the right service. So you may actually decide to go in a different direction. You know, you may close out something that you are connected to for a long time, and I feel you just go in a different direction. You know, you get another provider that actually you love their service, and of course you love how much it costs as well, because you get to save more money. But you know, this trinket really indicates that you want to be more free in the working environment, that you're releasing yourself from something that was toxic or was not working for you. And I feel also, if you were disappointed in something, you had a lucky escape. Okay, and I feel like something better is coming on in here. Interesting, we got the moon here as well. The moon often represents a hidden opportunity about to be revealed to you. You know, it means the universe is orchestrating something behind the scenes, something that's connected to something that you love, something you have deep feelings for. Okay, so I would say keep your dreams alive, which is what you're doing. And I also feel that, you know, you could actually get an opportunity in and around the next, well, I feel it's just after the next new moon. Okay, that's coming out very strongly there. A week after the new moon is what I'm being given. You could hear some very exciting news. So I will leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Sagittarians. Thank you so much, and love and light.